श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी। विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। ॐ श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ श्रीचिन्मयसद्गुरवे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। ॐ श्रीकृष्णपरमात्मने नमः। Now you have been introduced, I have been introduced to you. Now please introduce yourselves to me. How many of you are listening to me for the first time? Oh, wonderful. That's great. For the second time? Third time? Fourth time? Fifth time? Some people are not putting their hand down at all. They don't know how many times they've heard me in the other times. Okay. Always. Okay. Now, everyone, no exception, wants to be a success. Nothing succeeds like success. Failure is always avoided, and therefore even people who fail are avoided. Is it true or not? No one wants to approach people who are failures. And success attracts everyone. People cling to success. If success is so much wanted by everyone, why is it that everyone doesn't succeed? Everyone strives for it, day and night, and yet you don't see everyone succeeding, do you? Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, since many of you are listening to me for the first time, I must confess to this really bad habit of mine. I have this bad habit of asking lots of questions, and I expect everyone to reply as well. And the main reason is I don't want anyone to sleep. Okay, accepted? Will you answer? Some of you have already slept. I have some great powers to put you to sleep in the first 5 minutes of my talk. Wonderful. So please keep answering. It may be very simple answers, but please do answer. The fact is, everyone does not succeed. As an institution, as an individual, as a society, as a nation, we find very often that they don't succeed. Why? So for success, 3 things are necessary. By the way, if you have brought a notepad and a pen, you are free to use it. I am told successful people always have a notepad and a pen. So whether you get the success or not, at least you can start with the... No, it's good, at least you know that they have that, I might as well keep one. At least someone will think I'm successful because I have a notepad and a pen. Not bad. So anything worthwhile, anything that touches your heart can be noted. So there are 3 things required for success of an individual, of a family, An institution, a society, or a nation? What is that? Number one, there must be the right yantra. What? What? Yantra. Yantra. What is yantra? Yantra means machine, instrument, vehicle, material, resources. All this is included in the word yantra. Like, for example, this particular talk of mine is going to be a success because you have the mic system working so well. Supposing all of a sudden the lights go off, what happens? The mic doesn't work, what happens? So the yantra is required. Do you agree with me? Yes, absolutely. This yantra must work. I can't otherwise talk so loud that all of you can so comfortably listen. And if I talk like that, then this yantra will fail. You understand? So if this yantra doesn't work, this yantra also will fail. So you need yantra, the right yantra, a proper, what do you call, upgraded yantra. I know many times, where you have a yantra which is not upgraded. And then, especially in the modern days, it just, everything gets outdated in no time. They say, Swamiji, this is an old window, it won't work. I said, I just won't. I'm talking about computers. I am not very computer savvy, but I had to pick up some things, So, and the most interesting thing in the present day, it's really, in a way, hilarious. In the good old days, people did not get along with each other. Nowadays, machines don't get along with each other. They say incompatibility. Have you heard that or not? अरे ये पेन ड्राइव इस कंप्यूटर में नहीं जाएगा. क्या है उसको? प्रॉब्लम क्या है उससे? So, incompatible. ले लोगों ने उठातु तू अबे तो થાય છે કે નહીં આવું બોલો. હા આવું. People don't get along. Computers, machines don't get along with each other. This lead will not go into this. And then you have to have one in between. What? Connector. Because how many things do you carry? You check out anyone's bag nowadays, these jet-setting people, 100 things are there. They are carrying so much of electronic goods on them. Yes or no? In the good old days, we only had this as a yantra. And it did everything for us. Yes. And this did not get along with this. That was the only problem. Now, our gadgets don't get along with each other. And we are advanced. More and more advanced. Therefore, we don't get along with each other so easily. It's very interesting. Go in a third-class compartment. Even to date, in India, everyone gets along with everyone. Is it true or not? First-class compartment, no one talks with anyone. Air travel you do, everyone sits with their nose a little high. Is it a fact or not? Does anyone talk with anyone in a air travel? No one talks. Excuse me. At the most, they will take out their business card. होता है कि नहीं? But third class, everyone talk. And everything, they exchange telephone numbers. मेरे शहर में आए, definite, मेरे ही घर रहना. You this. And they tell things to those people. The wife will tell things which she has not even told the husband. She would have told to some complete stranger. Is it true or not? वो third class में, first class never. Never. Advance हो गया ना. What I'm trying to tell you is that machines also this. So you have to have the right machines. And important thing is you need to be trained in the use of the machines. I know of so many places. Because I'm so associated with education, I can talk very much on that. Nowadays, all the classes, schools have what is called smart boards. Have you heard of that? And then you put your child in the school because they have smart boards. But you have teachers who are not smart enough to use the boards. Is it a fact or not? They don't know. They use the smart interactive boards like they would use a blackboard. I have seen them actually do. You know, what you would do on a blackboard is what they do in a smart board. Very interesting. Also, you have to be trained in the use of the yantra. You have to understand the yantra, be trained in the... And I tell you, it doesn't happen. Our Atharvana ji did a little bit of the exercise, told everyone to switch off the mobiles. But I tell you, he didn't complete the exercise because so many people don't know how to switch off the mobiles. It's a fact. The grandfather would have been given the mobile by the... And then the interesting part of this thing is, the grandchild would have put the ringtone for the grandfather. And the grandfather's nice, sober, good, you know, this very good satsang and all. And the grandson would have put his liking tone. And this man is sitting there happily listening to the lecture. And hota hai ki nahi hota hai? Very interesting. You know, it doesn't match at all. The personality should always match, no, the ringtone and the... Have you noticed all these wonderful things in the world? I tell you, world is full-time entertainment. You only have 100, 200 channels on your TV. But the world is what? Multi-channel, 24 hours entertainment. And interesting thing is, they just answer. They think કે બંધ કરે ને એટલે આમ કરીને બંધ થઈ જાય. પછી 2 મિનિટ પછી પાછું ઢાંગ ઢૂમ ઢાંડા. It starts again. So please, all those who don't know how to switch off their mobile, hand it over to your neighbor and tell them to switch it off. Can you do this little exercise? Please. And don't hesitate. પછી વધારે ખરાબ લાગશે. Just do that. It's worth it. So we have yantras, but we don't know how to, what? Use them. We're not trained in the use. And I'll tell you, in India, technology is borrowed. We didn't grow up with technology, so we have not learned the etiquette that goes along with technology. Let me explain this to you. This is also something part of the training. Okay, when you call someone on the phone, who is supposed to give the introduction first? The person who is talking or you who is supposed to, whom you call? Huh? What do we do in India? Kaun bolo cho? You called me, I didn't know. I mean, you have to tell me who are you. Why do you ask me? Tame kaun bolo cho? Tame kaun cho? Na tame ko pella kaun cho? But tame bolavya mane. I didn't call you. Thais ke na thatu bolo. The etiquette that goes along, should there be training in that or not? Yes. Whether you use a computer, you use a mobile, any instrument that you use, there's an etiquette that goes along with it. There's a do's and don'ts. There's a way of using it so that it doesn't become harmful to you. Right now, we started using mobile, and then now the research comes, even in the West, that teenagers who use a lot of mobiles have, or children, you know, pregnant ladies who have been using a lot of mobiles, their children grow up with behavioral problems. Heard of that? So we start using, the yantra is used, and we have advanced. And what happens? Later on, only the do's and don'ts associated with the instrument is understood, and most of the time it's quite late also after that. TV, or whether it's a mobile or it's a computer. Do you agree with me? Yes? Don't you think it should go along with that? Then only it's successful use of the yantra. So yantras are required or not? Yes. Life becomes easy when there is a right yantra, but it should lead you to success and not... Now what has happened? Yantra, we have become so dependent on the yantra that we have become almost, what? Attached to the... I tell you, the next generation, Bhagwan will say, કે આ છોકરા જુદું કરીને આપીએ. મોબાઈલને હાથ પર ચોંટાડીને જ મોકલશે. The day you are born, no? Grafted. સ્વામીજી નેક્સ્ટ જન્મમાં મોબાઈલને ચિપ આવશે ને અંદર ફિક્સ કરશે ને પછી વાપરે. You know, it's actually happened that the yantra has become more important than people and so many other things. Do you agree with me? A classic example is people don't smile at the people who are in front of them, but in their email they'll have plenty of smileys. Yes or no? Isn't it strange? Yes or no? સામે હોય તો લે અંશુ બગાડ્યું તારું. And every second sentence, smiley. Eh? So you can only smile through a machine? Direct smile you can't? And that too, someone has to smile for you? Are you understanding? Swamiji, you know, I'm very busy. You know, every night I chat. I'm what? On the Facebook and on the... So they have friends all over the world, but they won't have friends in their own gully. Their neighbor, is it true or not? What is this? The yantra has started dominating life so much that people don't meet anymore. They're on the 10 people meet together and everyone is talking to someone else. Isn't it very common? Bolo. They've met up. Oh, let's meet up. And meet up કરીને શું કરો? થાય છે કે નથી થતું? What type of meeting up is this? Might as well, because then you are talking on the phone. At least તમે એની સાથે વાત તો કરશો phone પર. Okay. Or next time, next generation is going to say, let's meet up on the phone. That's about it. Are you with me? So yantras are important? Yes, of course. They should be the right type of yantras with the right, what do you call it? You know, training that we need to have, the etiquette we need to learn, everything about a yantra. It's important. Yes. True. We shouldn't become so dependent on the yantra. People, you know, what do? That mobile, my God, they sleep with it next to their bed. होता है कि नहीं? બધા નોટ કરે છે. યસ, બધાએ કરતા લાગે છે લે. Next to their bed, with the pillow next to the... But why do you want to put it right there? And then all through the night, they have this beeping sound from these SMS. Is it true now? And હોય કાંઈ નહીં. અને પછી કે જોઈ લઈએ તો અને some ringtone, some movieનું કાંઈક આવતું પે પે પૂ કરીને. Is it true or not? It's nothing to do. It's not going to make... But now... And then every few minutes, peh, poo, poo, peh, do. They have some tones, no, which come like that. I don't know. But why do you want to do that? Swamiji, I said, why don't you... See, in the good old days, we had phones where there was no ringer off. Do you remember that time? There was no ringer off. It would ring. Some people say, Swamiji, હું જ્યારે જમવા બેસું ને ત્યારે જ ફોન વાગે. And haven't you seen so many people જમતા? તમે કેમ ખાઓ છો એવું લાગે છે? કાંઈ વાંધો નહીં, તમે ચલાવ્યા કરો ને. લે એટલે ન ખાવા પર ધ્યાન ન અને પછી બોલે ને સાથે સાથે એ પેલું ચટણી આપો ને પેલા શું કરે? કોઈ ચટણી આપો. થાય જ કે નથી થતું? બોલો ને. What are we doing? I said, now you have a switch off. You can just switch it off. You know, just... સ્વામીજી ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ ફોન હોય તો બેસી રહો. અને ઘણા પર 5 હોય લે. જોયા છે કે નહીં? 2 કે 3 પછી સાથે વાગે ને. આઈ એમ સ્ટ્રેસ્ડ આઉટ. You know, all of them are ringing. Oh, I don't know which to do. પછી you hold on, I'm on another line. You hold on, I'm on... And then we feel I'm multitasking. લે અને પછી I'm stressed out. Okay, all of you not here. When you go back home, check out your mobiles. Amna nahi, check out your mobiles and see who has called you. It will be the same 10 people. Yes or no? And what will it be? ઘરે ક્યારે પહોંચો છો? Is it true or not? And very useless things which is not immaterial. ખાવાનું છે ને તે ફ્રીજમાં સેકન્ડ ડ્રોમાં દહીંની પાછળ મળ્યું કે? અને પછી 15 મિનિટ પછી મળી ગયું? ના મળે તો શું ભૂખ્યું થશે? શું કાંઈ? ફાઇન્ડ આઉટ. ખાધું કેટલું ખાધું? Are you with me? Does it happen? Is it called the misuse of the yantra or the good use of a yantra? આ બધું બોલે પણ ઘરે જઈને એ જ કરશે. That's the most interesting part of it. I tell you. This is even more funny. The husband leaves. In the good old days, the husband left home, 15 days, no samachar. એક કાગળ આવે તો હા 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 કાગળ આવ્યો, એમનો કાગળ આવ્યો. Now the husband has left halfway to the airport. આ ગાંધી ચોક પહોંચ્યો છું. So great news ના, ગાંધી ચોક સુધી પહોંચી ગયા. I mean, it's really some achievement. પછી એરપોર્ટ પહોંચી ગયો, હજુ ચેક ઇન બાકી છે. પછી ચેક ઇન થઈ ગયું, હવે રાહ જોઉં છું. So who wants this minute to minute? Pashi, I'm on the flight and they're asking us to switch off. For the next 2 hours, I won't be able to call. What a great loss to the world. Is it true or not? And then the minute ajuto it landed, હું પહોંચી ગયો. ઉપર છે તો નીચે જ આવે ને, લેન્ડ થાય તો. Where else would you go? Where else? પહોંચી ગયો. પછી હું હોટેલમાં ત્રીજે માળે રહું છું. ઓકે, બ્રેકફાસ્ટમાં આ ખાધું, લંચમાં પેલું, ડિનર. So when they come back, there's nothing to talk. Yes or no? This is called what? Use of the yantra or misuse of the yantra. If it's for something and no meaningful talk is talked about, nothing which. So yantras are important. They help you to be successful, but yantras can be abused, misused, and a lot of problematic as well if not trained or used in the right way. Then the next very important, this is called tantra. What is it? Tantra. What is tantra? Tantra means method, procedure, laws, systems, the right way. All these must be there. If there is no right tantra, things don't work. Do you agree with me? For example, for this series of talks to be successful, all of us, you have to switch off your yantra. That is a tantra. Have you understood that? That's a system. You put in certain systems, and those systems must work. They must be workable. They must help you to make life easy. Do you agree with me? Systems are made what? Like you have traffic rules for what? To avoid accidents and to reach your gantavya, your goal, faster. Do you agree with me? And in India, what do we want to do? Bolo. Everyone wants to be. India, it's a national, something is fitted into our genes, I think Indian genes. That we want to break every system and we want to become an exception to every rule. Is it a fact or not? Why? Why do you want to become? No. આપણે બધા આમ જતા હોય તો હું આમ જઈ શકું તો આઈ ફીલ, તમને ખબર બધા લાઈનમાં હોતા પણ મને એ લોકોએ પહેલાં લઈ લીધા. યુ ફીલ સો પ્રાઉડ ઓફ ઇટ. યસ ઓર નો? એવરીવન વોન્ટ્સ ટુ બ્રેક ધ system and we feel a great tremendous joy in breaking it. Isn't it true? We feel. And what happens? At the end of it, nothing works. Because if everyone becomes an exception to the rule, there is no rule. Have you understood? That's what happens. And nothing works. If you see outside India, everyone is a stickler for systems. Is it true or not? Every rule, they follow it. It's ingrained in them. It's drilled in them. And they follow. And that's why things work. Everyone is benefited by that. આપણે જો ટ્રાફિક જામ, પેલું ખાસ કરીને પેલું શું કહેવાય, રેલવે ક્રોસિંગ, everyone's waiting in the line and then those gates open and you should see, everyone goes. Haven't you seen that? And then there's a traffic jam and then Unbelievable. But why do you want to do that? Just stay where you are and everything will happen in no time at all. Everyone will be able to walk. No. Is it true or not? Bolo. Sometimes the rules that are made are so outdated and no one's upgraded them at all. Systems which are so complicated or completely outdated still exist and they create so much of problems in the world. Do you agree with me? I'll give you an example and you'll realize this is hilarious. I was in the house of someone in Amritsar and their daughter wanted to go to Canada. Stay there permanently. So she wanted the passport and visa and stuff. And she had a child who was 9 months old, a son, 9 months old. So she needed to get the passport and all that, whatever is there required formalities, even for the child. Now, when you have to have a passport, they have a police inquiry so that they know you're not a criminal or something. So they make that type of this. So the rule for this child is that they won't have a police inquiry and thing. He must give a character certificate. How old? 9 months old. And actually the girl told me, she's saying, I went to a notary and I got a letter made and the notary had written that I know this child from birth and he bears a good moral character. Because the fellow would not take in the form. He says rule is rule. Now there are rules completely outdated or for God alone knows why they were ever made like that as a 9-month-old will have to give a... No sense. But there are rules like that. Is it true or not? So rules are made to what? Simplify our life. Make it easy to achieve our goals. They should be simple, easy to understand. We should be trained in the system. Many times, no one trains us into a system. And we learn about the system by hit or miss, trial and error. Yes or no? Don't you think we should be trained in the system as well? Like for example, you learn traffic rules before you start driving. It's not કે નહીં ચલાવતા શીખી જઈશું. આપણા દેશમાં એવું થાય છે ને. You go into an office, there are systems in an office. No one puts the effort to train everyone first into the system, and how it's to be done. And then એ તો શીખી જશે. ઓફિસમાં કામ કરતા કરતા બધું ખબર પડશે. બોસ કોણ, આ કોણ, બધું ખબર પડી જશે. Is it true or not? But if you're trained, it becomes so much easy. Time is not wasted. So many other things are happening. And as I told you, in India, we believe in breaking. Someone told me that Singapore is a fine country. What do you mean by that? If you break any rule, you have to pay a fine. You understand? That's the country. You throw something on the ground and before it hits the ground, there's a policeman saying $50. And in our country, તમને ખબર છે હું કોણ છું? ખબર છે? I like it about certain countries. You can be the Prime Minister's child, but you have to follow rules. Is it true or not? They have been caught breaking traffic rules and they are in the jail. It doesn't matter. You may be Prime Minister's child. That's immaterial. You go and spend one night in the jail. Why? Because you broke a rule. Full stop. And in India, what happens? બોલો. You know ના મારે કેવું પડશે? You just have to be નહીં તમે જેટલા રૂલ્સ વધારે જેટલું વધારે ફિગરના રૂલ્સ એ કરો તમને વધારે માળા પહેરાવશે. ખબર પડી ને? You become a raja overnight. Tell you. Oh, मेरा भारत महान. If you break small rules, then you are put in the jail. If you break big time rule, then Mera Bharat Mahan. And I tell you, in India, sometimes, I'm a very proud Indian, and I'm talking in front of others, I won't talk anything. આ તો બધા આપણે જ છે, એટલે વાંધો નથી. At least here we can discuss, what we can do and what we need to do to make this country a truly successful in every possible sense of the way. You know, Chinmay Mission has a beautiful motto. It says, to give maximum happiness to the maximum number for the maximum period of time is our religion. This is what we believe in. It's a beautiful motto. મને ઘણી વખત એમ થાય કે India's motto is to give maximum ત્રાસ to the maximum people in the minimum period of time. Anywhere you go, they'll make it. If it can be simple, no way. You're getting it. Complicated. And more complicated. આમ તો મળે જ નહીં તમને. આમ તો થાય જ નહીં. And any place where it becomes easy, and I'm very proud to say that in Gujarat, they have made systems so easy that you can want to set up a factory, you can buy a land. I'm very proud. I was in Chennai, and someone told me this. You know, this really, I was impressed. He's saying someone wanted to put up a pulp factory in Gujarat. He says this person came, showed me the entire plan, says, I had to do in Maharashtra 2 acres of land and 5 years, bribed every person under the sun, top to bottom, here, there, just to get that little land for my factory. He's doing a big export business, and he says, I needed to set up a factory in Gujarat. They told me the whole thing, they showed me this is the factory. I didn't even have to go to Gujarat. Everything was there, બધું ને કે અઠવાડિયામાં આવીને તમારી જમીન જોઈ જજો. All papers cleared, everything. This is called a system which works. Have you understood? It can work. And if it can work in one part of the country, it can work in others. So what I'm trying to tell you is that we need to have systems which are, what? Workable, easy. And do you know, there are some people who will use the system or take the name of the system because they don't want to work. Is it true or not? They'll say, આ કરી ન શકાય કારણ કે allowed નથી. Is it true or not? They sit back wanting to sit behind a system or a rule or if they don't, and if they want to do something, they will break every rule. Yes or no? I have had this happening. All of you must have faced many times. કામ ના કરવું હોય તો they go behind a system. કે ગવર્મેન્ટમાં આમ ચાલે, આમ જ ચાલે. And when they want to break the rule, then no system. તમે આવી જાઓ ને, બતાવી દઈશું. Is it true or not? No rule is required. It won't work. Are you with me? I have to keep asking because લોકો switch off બહુ જલ્દી થાય. They are so used to પેલું channel બદલવાનું ને તો they may change. સ્વામિની વિમલા channel પટ કરીને કરતો. It's gone somewhere else. Who knows? She is gone out of existence. Who knows where she is? કારણ કે we are so used to changing channels. એક channel બહુ વધારે વાર જોઈ જ નહીં. એટલીમાં વચ્ચે TV ad આવે તો પટ કરી દે. How do I know? If I start a story, they'll think it's like an ad. Put, gone. So, what do we need in life? The right, what? Yantra. And what else do we need in life? The right tantra. Tantra that works. And in our country, really what is lacking is not the yantra, but the tantra. Good governance is the absolute need of the hour in our country. What our country can become if this comes in. Systems, rules, laws which work. And that is why in the Bhagavad Gita, it says, Shri Vijayaha Bhuti. Along with Shri, prosperity, Vijayaha, success, Bhuti, Vaibhav, grandeur, what is given? Dhruva Niti. What is that? Good governance. Have you understood that? That's the success story. Success story goes along with good governance, where laws work, things happen, procedures are followed. Okay? Now, the third thing. The third thing is called mantra. What is it? Yantra? Tantra? What is a mantra? Mantra are inspirational statements. They're called sutras also sometimes in our language. Inspiring ideas. Brief mottos or objectives, whatever you call them. Or attitudes, something which is there, which will make us do something great and become successful. And I tell you, if you have a lot of yantras and a lot of tantras, if you don't have mantras, it doesn't work. How many companies are hiring big gurus? They call them management gurus. And they say, give our employees motivation. પણ પગાર આપો જ કે નહીં? કે that is not enough motivation. બોલો, is it true or not? પગાર આપે છે, બધું આપે, પણ ના perks આપે છે, બધું, પણ that's not working. It's not motivating our people. So you need motivation. And how? And then they come and say, come on. And then, interesting, they make them play children's games. Have you seen that? Yes or no? I always say one of the main reasons is this is because જ્યારે નાના હતા ત્યારે જ્યારે રમવાનું હતું ને ત્યારે ભણતા હતા. એટલે હવે પછી 50 વર્ષે થઈ and they play children's games. Actually play children's game. Yes or no? Have you all gone through such seminars? And you pay a lot of money. To play what? તમે માનતા નથી? 50 વર્ષના થાવ ને CEO બનો પછી તમને મોકલી આપશે તમારી કંપની. શું? ગેમ્સ રમવા માટે. Learn through teamwork. લે, આખી જિંદગી you are a what? Lone batsman. And now all of a sudden at the age of 50, they want to make you a team worker. You think it's going to happen? Bolo. All your life you have only learned how to waste time. And then when you have become a big time, what? Manager and jet setting in the world and all that. And then they say, time management seminar in Fort Aguada, Taj Hotel, Coromandel, whatever. And then they've done that. 1.25 lakh rupees for 3 days on stress management. Actually, the person who's organizing told me. So all the CEOs, multinational company CEOs come, and the first thing they do is Ayurvedic oil massage. Who is not going to feel good with that? Okay. Then the guru, the management guru, who's paid lakhs of rupees for doing that, he makes everyone sit down and say, relax. Relax. Okay, if you paid 1.25 lakhs, can you afford not to relax? Who dares not to relax? How do you feel? So relaxed. It's so nice. 3 days, they're all relaxed. 4th day, they go back home. I asked the management guru, you know that. I said, how much effective are you? He says, Swamiji, 10%. He told me. He says, a habit that you've built up for 50 years of your life, you think you're going to drop it in 3 days' time? Not a chance. Have you all understood what I'm saying? Bolo. So what do you need? You need mantras. You need inspiration from time to time in facing your life. So many different situations are there. Some mantras you need for a whole life, and it can become a mantra for your life. Some for little incidents that happen, how to face them. This mantra comes to your mind, and you have the right attitude, and you'll be able to do it. You need it. There are different type of mantras. Some mantras are called instigating mantras. This is the type of mantra that Kaikeyi got from Manthara. You know the Ramayana story, na? Manthara gave her what type of mantra? Tu banega nahi. You will not become the queen, mother, and that Kaushalya will become the favorite. So first she said, no, Ram will become the king. So she was so happy. She says, oh good, that's what I want. I'm so happy. Immediately she took out her mala. Those days they used to wear lots of malas like that. So they could give away immediately, like that. So nowadays what do people do when they become happy? I don't know. Anyway, so she gave one mala to Kaikeyi. Then to Manthara. Then Manthara said, Are, you are giving me mala, you don't know. Then she instigated the jealousy in her. That Kaushalya will become the favorite and you will become number 2. She will become number 1. What? You know what happened? So this is called what? Instigate. Are there not enough instigators like that? Mantras being given? People are committing terrorist acts because of what? Mantras given like that. Yes or no? Harming others, harming themselves. What do instigating mantras do? They bring out the lower, your anger, your revenge, your jealousy. All these things they bring out. They bring out your negativities and they pull you down in life. Have you understood that? This is called what type of mantras? Instigating mantras. There are enough people in the world doing that. There are others which are called motivating mantras. What do? They push you ahead in life. Don't worry, I am there. I am there for you. You don't worry, you go ahead. And you feel so good, someone is there to back you and I'll be able to do it. Is it true? That's what motivational gurus do. Do it. And then they make you say it also, the mantras. Have you seen them? One was very interesting. This man went to get a job in some company. So the interview was going on. There was a panel of people and asking him questions. And they asked him, what is the vision statement of our company? Now, he had not done his homework enough. He didn't know what was the vision statement of that company. But he was a very enterprising young guy. So he said, your vision statement is push. He says, what push? He says, that was written on the door of your office. So I thought you would write your vision statement. Push. So basically, the idea is that you need something to... After the World War II, Japan also had, industrialization of the country. They had the mantra. And you know what happened? They really became a great success stories. Whatever happened now is a different thing, but otherwise at that point, one point of time, my God, they were unbeatable. So therefore, some motivation is there, some great inspiration. In our country, we had people who gave us what? Inspiring mantras. The freedom fighters of our country, isn't it? One word, quit India, and how many people were ready to? Isn't it? Swadeshi. And everyone said, no, nothing. We are not taking anything which is foreign. And what happened? We could achieve such great, wonderful, and shan se humne swatantrata li, hai ki nahi? It's a very wonderful thing. Not just at that time, in our country, otherwise also, we've had great, great mantras given by great people, which has inspired people for generations together. Same mantra. Is it true or not? Do we need mantras like that? Of course. And I tell you, even if the yantra and tantra is not so good, but if you have a mantra, you'll manage to get the yantra and tantra right. Is it true or not? But if you don't have a mantra, you lose inspiration all the time. However good the yantra and tantra is there, you don't manage to succeed. There was a very interesting story. There was this very well-built, police officer and a very scrawny-looking robber who had stolen something and was running. And the police officer was trying to catch him. And this scrawny, weak little, robber managed to escape. And this healthy hatta-katta police officer wasn't able to catch him. So they said, how come? This fellow is so weak and you are so healthy and all. How come he ran away? He says, I was running for the sake of a pay and he was running for his life. He had a higher motivation. You understand that? Are you understanding the point what I'm trying to make? The higher your motivation, the greater is your... That's why it's happening. America with all its yantra and tantra is not able to capture who? Whatever. You get the point. They have fantastic... But what is the motivation behind those people fighting? It's not that. But those people have their own, whether it's instigating or whatever be it. There is something which is so strong. Their mantras are so powerful and they are willing to die for the sake of those mantras. Yes or no? Their motivation is so high. Whether for a wrong cause or for a right cause, they are motivated people. And when you fight against motivated people, you have to be more motivated. Agreed. So success will come when? Bolo. Mantras are so very important. We need to have mantras in life. Some mantras can be, as I said, short term, for little things in life to help us. And some can be for a lifetime. You can have mantras like that. Now, we are going to see mantras. And there are plenty of them in the Bhagavad Gita. But before I go to a Bhagavad Gita mantra, I am going to give a mantra of my own. I've made many of them as time goes somehow. Because see, we people know we are sannyasis. So we don't go for a job or anything like that. So humko kaam dhanda nahi hota hai. So we think a lot. That's the whole thing, because we keep thinking a lot. So we come up with these things which help us in life. Basically, it's for our own this. And I'm talking about these mantras made for myself. They may not apply to you in your life. It's possible. You may not be inspired by them. That's also possible. All I want to say, and it's not to show that I made this mantra. No big deal. I don't want it printed anywhere, or I don't want a name for it or anything. I have no copyrights. You can use it for whatever purpose you want. That's immaterial. I am only telling you, you also can have mantras for your life, which are made by you. Only they should not be what? Instigating mantras. Let them be motivating you to something higher and greater. As I told you, instigating mantras pull you down. Motivational mantras push you forward. But inspiring mantras elevate you, take you higher and higher. Have you understood the difference between them? Right. So we are going to share a few such mantras. One of my favorite mantras, and this has helped me in my life. Personally, I've used each one of them. One is, don't bang your head on closed walls. Walk out through open doors. Doesn't sound very wonderful, but it's great for me. What? Don't bang your head on closed walls. Walk out through open doors. In any given room, are there more walls or doors? Bolo. Walls. But if there is a door to come in, there is a door to go out. The fact that you've come in means there is a way to go out. So never feel there is no way out. Will you remember this? What? Never ever feel there is no way out. There is always a way out, because you've got in, so there's a way out. Got this point? Very important? Agreed? Yes. There are many people, I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. બહાર આમાંથી નીકળી જ નહીં શકાશે. I am બસ હવે જિંદગી. Do we feel like that? If at all, remember this. The fact that you're in, there's a way out. You've come in, na? You've got into it, na? Fine. There is always a way out. Only you haven't found it. Find that way. And what do? We keep banging our head on what? Walls. And they think that if you bang it enough, it will become a door. It doesn't. What happens in the process? Bolo, you injure yourself. That's all. Some houses are very interesting. They have a whole wall, which is like a cupboards or whatever. And you don't know which of them is a door to the bathroom. Have you ever? There are closets, all this, and there'll be many like that. So whole cupboard. And we are troubled because we change houses every few days, so we don't know, what is happening. So we open one door. Kisi ka cupboard hai. So you close it immediately. Then the other you open is closed. Maybe they've got some money in it or whatever. So it's not even openable. And you want to use the washroom. Now, what do? Then you, ye aa gaya. Okay, fine. You instead of banging, you can, there are ways of testing whether it's a wall or a door. Is it true or not? If it's a wall, it will be a solid thud sound. But if it's a door, hollow, because there's nothing behind, right? So test it instead of bang. Weed goes straight head on. And what happens? Lag gaya. Have you understood? So often we do that. And the same place we bang again and again. How many of you have done this? You give work to a person and said, देखो उसने किया ही नहीं. Do you do that? मुझे पता ही था कि नहीं करेगा. तो उसको क्यों दिया? अरे पता था कि वो नहीं करेगा तो उसको क्यों दिया आपने? नहीं मुझे लगा कि करेगा तो है, तो फिर Is it true or not? We do it all the time. અને શીખીએ જ નહીં. ને પછી કે કામ નહીં થયું. કેમ? બહુ ટ્રાય કરી. તમને લાગે છે કે હું ટ્રાય નથી કરતી? દિવસ રાત ટ્રાય કરું છું. શું કરો છો? Bang, bang, bang. And even if you bang it enough, maybe with a hammer and a tong, whatever, and if it breaks also, you can't walk out, because if you walk out of a wall, you don't know where you land. If you're on the 10th floor, you've made a big hole, and now go jump out. Have you understood? Yes or no? You need to find what? A door and not a... If you can't make a wall into a... Some walls are very... What do you call it? Brittle, or કાંઈ હોય જ નહીં અંદર. એને તમે તોડીએ શકો. But you have to be careful before jumping out. If it's something nice, you can walk out. What I'm saying, it's possible to make. કારણ કે ખાસ કરીને nowadays they have this, what is it called? Vastu people. They are interesting people actually. Very interesting people. They are never happy with the way everything is. Immediately they'll say કે આ પેલું ઉપરનું તમને દેખાય ને બાકોરું, એને ડોર બનાવો. પણ ઉપર ડોર કેવી રીતે? તો એને put stairs. That is the best way. ત્યાંથી થશે ને તો લક્ષ્મીજી આવશે. અરે બાપા, લક્ષ્મીજી અહીંયાથી કેમ આવે? પણ એવું થાય જ કે ન થતું? હું એમને એમ ખાલી કહું છું. And people have great faith in all that. You can't say anything. Let them. પછી આપણે કહીએ એમને ઘરે. Once I entered into someone's house in this way, and I said, but what happened? He says, no, Swamiji, from when this happened, I tell you, my health has improved. Naturally, because he's climbing up and down so much, he's getting good exercises, and it's really good. Actually, I thank that Vastu person. I said, good work you did. Anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is, don't bang your head on closed walls. Not worth it. Walk out through. There is always a way out. There is always a way out. Find that way out. Never get disappointed. And walls will be more. There'll be more people discouraging you than encouraging you. But don't worry. It's no big deal. It's life. And you shouldn't say, બધા discourage કરે છે. So, did everyone give you some, the day you were born, hereby everyone will encourage you all your life? Is there some contract given by the world to you? Bolo, the day you were born? No. The world can do what they want to do. That's their job. They'll do it well. We have to find what? What? Doors. And as I told you, there is always a door. There's always. Only you haven't found it. And you're maybe not putting the effort because you're so busy banging your head on. What? That's why you're not finding. Okay? Shall we go ahead? You're okay with this mantra? You think it's quite okay? Or you think it's silly? Doesn't matter. Whatever you think, anyway, it's helped me in my life. Then there's another one which is my favorite, and that is be like Gangaji. It's my favorite. What? Be like Gangaji. When Gangaji starts at her source, what is her size? Isn't it? And then, as she goes ahead, she keeps on, all the rivers keep meeting. And she keeps on expanding her width and her size and her glory, and the minute before she even starts, she comes across big, huge mountains, isn't it? When she comes across these huge mountains, what does Gangaji do? Does she bang her head there? No. She says, this is too big. I'm not going to be able to. If I bang myself against that, my water, a little bit of it is going to get scattered. So what does she do? You remain the big mighty Himalaya. What will I do? Is it true or not? See, without... She says, okay, namaste astu Bhagavan. And what happens? That mountain remains right where it is, and Gangaji has met the ocean. Have you understood that? She reached her goal, and it remained where it is, big, mighty and all, as a big obstacle, which is not at all an obstacle anymore. Have you understood? In our life also, you will find something which seems to be, such people, so-called powerful or so-called this. Don't waste your energy and time. Namaste Astu Bhagavan. You are great. Of course, no one like you. Namaste Astu Bhagavan. But I have no time. Thank you so much for being... When there are small, little pebbles, Gangaji doesn't even notice. Is it true or not? Doesn't even notice that they are there. Then, when there are bigger boulders also, Gangaji goes push on top and goes away. Isn't it? And water is soft by its very nature. Stone is hard by its very nature. But what happens? Gangaji every day rubs against the stone softly, every day, regularly, slowly. And what happens? In the end, Gangaji cows the stone. Is it true or not? The stone gets cowed and Gangaji goes ahead. क्या बढ़िया बात है कि नहीं? अरे पत्थर जैसा भी दिल हो ना किसी का, हर रोज भगवान का नाम लो, क्या हो जाएगा? वो कट जाएगा. Have you understood? वो नाम जीतेगा. Not just this, anything in life, you see that what wins, what is going to win in the end. Acha, now another very interesting thing in this Gangaji is, see, as Gangaji keeps going towards the ocean, and the ocean is infinite, remember, her goal is what? It's not a small goal. She doesn't keep down the gully, I want to go. Nowadays you ask children, what is their goal? I want to get a job. Hey? Goal of life is what? Something. I want to get a job, and a big house, and a big car, and a big... What else? Big TV screen, the big... whatever. You understand? That's it. Gangaji doesn't have. She says infinity is my goal. The infinite ocean is what I want. I don't want anything small and finite. Now, if I want to get something infinite, I can't be this size. So she becomes, at Ganga Sagar, where she meets the ocean, you should see the expanse of Gangaji. Oh, it's almost the size of the ocean. It's so wide. And where it becomes like that, गंगा जी इतने विशाल बन जाते हैं तो अनंत समुद्र में मिल जाते हैं, अपने लक्ष्य को प्राप्त करते हैं. What a wonderful thing. Because she only has one thing. Whatever else comes in the way, I have to reach the ocean. Bas. That's my goal. She doesn't get bothered by other things. You have a goal of life. I want to reach there. All others are in between. Okay, fine. Help everyone on the way. Be good to this. And as you help others, as you expand, what happens? Others keep taking what? Drinking from that, getting advantage of that. They also join in and you reach that infinite ocean. What a wonderful thing. So be like, what? You like this one? No. Now let's get to the Gita. I can keep talking. Now these are a couple of them, there are many which my great Guru, Swami Chinmayananda. Whenever I use the word Guru Dev, I would mean Swami Chinmayananda Ji, the founder of the Chinmay Mission. And when I would use the word Guruji, I would mean Swami Tejumayanand Ji, who is the present head of the Chinmay Mission. Two great personalities who have influenced me immensely in my life. There are beautiful mantras of theirs. There are books available at the bookstall. One book is called Tips for Happy Living. If you have not had that book, please. He's given beautiful, Guruji has given excellent mantras over there. And so I could keep on quoting from them, and I will as I keep going on in the Gita also, quotes from Pujya Gurudev and from Pujya Guruji as well. But let's get to the Gita. How many of you have a copy of the Bhagavad Gita with you? Oh. Okay, fine. Tomorrow I want all of you to bring a copy of the Bhagavad Gita. Beg, borrow, or? No need for that. You can buy it from the bookstore. Don't. Each one of us must have a Gita with him. I always say, there's hardly any Christian who has not read the Bible. Agreed? There's hardly any Muslim who has not read the Quran. Agreed? There's hardly any Hindu who has read the Gita. Agreed? It's a sad fact. Right. Such great things are given. There's not a single word in the Bhagavad Gita that does not apply to all of mankind. Not just Indians, not just Hindus, not just young people, not just elders, for every possible person. Mahatma Gandhi used to say that whenever I have a problem at an individual level in my own life or for the nation, I would open any page of the Bhagavad Gita and I would get my answer there. Can you imagine this great man had this? But we, of course, don't need it. So therefore, please bring your Bhagavad Gita. Bring your Bhagavad Gita. So each one of us must, no, not family Bhagavad Gita. Some things should be our own. Isn't it true? Some things can be family shared, that's fine. But certain things you don't share. You have of your own. So this is worth having, of your own. This is your copy so that you can mark. When I talk tomorrow, the mantras that are there, you can actually mark it on your book and then they can become your mantras. Whenever you need, those few words will come up and talk to you. Have you understood? So please get a copy of the Bhagavad Gita. If you already have it, please bring that. In whichever condition, in whichever place it is there, please bring it. It happened once, This person was selling dictionaries. And he was going and he knocked on the door of someone and said, a dictionary. So the lady of the house came out. She was in a hurry and all that, so she didn't want to entertain this person, the salesman, and says, no, mari paase che. But he was a really persistent, person. So he says, kya che, kya? So she says, પેલી આપણે એ દેખાય ને પેલી ઓપન અલમારી દેખાય ને ત્યાં આગળ પેલી તો ત્યાં પેલી જાડી પેલી ચોપડી નથી તે છે તો કે બેન એ છે ને તમારી ડિક્શનરી નથી તમારી ગીતા છે તો કે આટલે દૂરથી તમને કેટલા વંચાયું કે ગીતા છે from so far you are saying it's a Gita. He's saying તમને કેટલા ખબર પડી તો કે ના પર ધૂળ છે ને એને માટે સમજ પડી ને એટલે in whatever condition it is, Jara, bring that tomorrow and we shall this. The next question comes, at what age should you listen to the Bhagavad Gita? How old was Arjuna? Are you aware of that? By the way, he was 60 years of age. How old? Oh, I can come. Tomorrow I don't need to come because I'm still young. No. In that time, people lived for an average of 120 years. What was the average lifespan? So what time should... And Arjun heard it when he was, what? 60. Now what is average lifespan in India? 60. So when should you listen? Bolo. And a polio vaccination should be taken before polio or after polio? Bolo. So the younger the better. That's so important. Okay, having understood that, I'll give a glimpse of one of the sutra of the Gita. The very, very first verse of the Bhagavad Gita. I will say the sutra, all of you can repeat after me. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. That is the mantra. I'm not going to read the whole shloka. I'm just going to read the mantra. Very easy to remember. Bolo. Be shabda yaad rahe ki na rahe? Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. That's it. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. Who is saying this? Dhritarashtra uvacha. Dhritarashtra is saying this. But the mantra means just change the words a little bit here and there. See, people think that Sanskrit is very difficult and we don't know how to read Sanskrit, and Sanskrit we can't. Are Rama. All of you must understand that when you mispronounce your mother tongue, it becomes Sanskrit. You understood that? That's what Gurudev used to say, it's a mispronounce it. And then, meaning, it's only your mother tongue that is being, and we have started thinking that, other languages are more closer to our heart than what? Sanskrit. 80% of all your, mother tongues are nothing but pure Sanskrit. And I'll make you understand. Dharma is a word in every language, Indian language. Kshetra is a word in every language. Kuru means karo. See how similar it is? Kurute, karoti, kareche. You understand? Kuru. Dharma, kshetre, kuru, kshetre. Now change these words a little bit here and there and you get your mantra. Beautiful. Kshetre, kshetre, dharma, kuru. What is it? Kshetre, kshetre. Kshetre means what? In every field. Kshetra, na? Kshetra. Even a field, where crops grow is also called kshetra. हर क्षेत्र में क्या करना चाहिए? धर्म करो. क्षेत्रे क्षेत्रे धर्म कुरु. Bhagwan Krishna, this is for you. Because he gave the mantra, not me. The Krishna, bolo Krishna Kanaya Lal ki. Emni jai jai. He gets all the claps. See, what is the opposite of dharma? The most misunderstood word is dharma, by the way. Anyway, what is the opposite of dharma? I hope this is clear. Write it down if you have to. Opposite of dharma is what? Adharma. Jyan dharma nathi, tyan su che? Will you keep this in mind? Wherever there is no dharma, there is adharma. Where there is adharma, there is no dharma. Where there is dharma, there is no adharma. They're opposite. It's like light and darkness. One removes the other. Adharma can remove dharma, and dharma can remove adharma. If this is understood, please tell me, should dharma enter into politics? Yes or no? કેમ બધા આટલું વાર કેમ લાગે છે વિચાર કરવાનો? Should dharma enter into politics? Yes or no? Because where there is no dharma, there will be what? So should dharma, when people say dharma should not enter into politics, Hare Rama, adharma is already there. You don't, any entry in Quran jarur is there. Dharma should enter into politics. Should dharma enter into education? Yes. And what did we do? We took out everything related to dharma from our curriculums. Yes or no? And what has happened? What has happened? Think about it. What has happened? In the good old days, the poetries that we would learn would be what? From Kabir Das ji or Surdas ji, or is it true or not? Narsi Mehta na? Prabhatya, those were the poetries. And now, no, dharma. Bin Sampradaik. Is it true or not? So we took out all the dharma possible. Now please, all of you who sit here, tell me whether it is a national level or an international level or a social level, who has created more problem, the educated or the uneducated people? Bolo. The educated. Now what type of education is there which has got us into more trouble? The uneducated person can at the most harm himself and his family, but the educated man can destroy the world. Agreed? So what is that education? What type of education is there which has made us like that? Devoid of all dharma. Do you agree with me? And then, it's interesting. After they've studied education where no values are given, no ethics are being taught, and then they go and then work ethics. Oh, whatever. And then they have seminars on work ethics. Yes or no? At what age? At what age? 50 years. Ethics in the business world and ethics in the medical field and ethics. Huh? Yes or no? મને ઘણી વખત કહે સ્વામીજી આ બધું તમારે છે ને પોલિટિશિયન્સને સંભળાવવું જોઈએ. Have you heard that one? મને તો કેટલાય આવીને કહે. Please, I want all of you to note this. Don't say that. Who are the politicians of the modern day? They are your and my brothers and sisters. Is it a fact or not? They're from our families, my dears. There are people. It's not that ત્યાંથી કંઈક નરક કે સ્વર્ગમાંથી ટપકાવ્યા હોય તમને. Yes or no? There are uncles and aunts and our relations and friends. I'm sure each one of you will be able to find one such who is kakano, maman, chokron, bouno, something. Yes or no? So who is he? He is your relation, my dear. What are you talking about? And I ask you another question. Which is the field right now which is free of adharma? Give me one. Journalist? Bolo. The less said the better. Right or wrong? Law? Bolo. તમે નામ કરો. Medical field? Oh, Rama. Isn't it true? I could tell you stories and stories, and I'm sure you can tell me 100 more. Yes or no? Which field is there? So what are we talking about? That politics is only becoming bad. Politicians have spoiled the country. Says who? This is wrong. I don't believe this. Have you understood this? Kshetre. What? Every kshetra needs dharma. Not just politics needs dharma. Every kshetra. And in our own life, we have dharma kshetra. A lot of dharma in the dharma kshetra. In the temple. And then, ghare jaine, adharma kshetra starts. Is it true? No. Bolo. What is this? Kshetre dharma kuru. Every aspect of our life must be pervaded with what? Dharma. Because where there is no dharma, there is what? In our society, our values, societal values, what level has it gone to? Is it true or not? I don't want to discuss it because it's too terrible to even bring things like that in a forum from a Vyaspeeth. But you all know better. Is it true or not? Where are we picking up all these values from? Bolo. Where? A lot of them from directly borrowed from what? TV serials. Yes or no? I tell you. We watch. I asked someone, what do they show in this TV serial? They're very curious. They said, Swamiji, kya to ye loko jhagde, kya to rade. Is it right? Pachi, I asked, okay, what is the storyline? So they told me it's very simple. There'll be a family and they'll keep doing kya to rade, kya to jhagdo kare. And then one will have an affair with someone else's wife. And that one will be with... and then that one will be... કારણ કે સીધું હોય તો પછી સ્ટોરી આગળ ના ચાલે ને. You love him, પતી ગયું. પછી you can't go on for 100 episodes. So I said, what do people watch? They said they watch who will run away with whom next. એમાં તમને કેમ મજા આટલી આવે છે ને? તમારું ભાગી જાય તો? Are you understand what I'm saying? Why? Are there not enough jhagdas happening at home that you want to see it happening in the TV? You get... And funny. He's so busy, he doesn't give me time. So I looked at him. Hey, is that an excuse? Is there a value? But they say that. Why? Because they pick it up directly from dialogues which are said, is it true or no? What is this? Kshetre, what? There's a strange type of this. They have office relations and this, and they think it's like, well, so everyone does it. Hey, is it true or not? Bolo. Kshetre, what is happening? And then we say, I'm not happy. We've got money, we've got yantras by the... in each house there are more instruments than members in the house. Is it true or not? Yantra, ketla, badhu. But there's no peace, there's no harmony, there's no success. And at the end of the day, you're not happy. So if you want to be happy, what should you do? Come tomorrow morning to Paramdham. Because that's where I'm going to do. And a very, very important thing that I'm going to talk about, an extremely important thing, and that is, there is something called a style and there's something called a lifestyle. What? Bolo. Dharma should become a style or a lifestyle. Oh. And now what is it becoming? More and more. When they ask what is the definition of Hindu Dharma, 90% of the people say it's a way of life. But no one ever understands what is the meaning of way of life. If you bathe in a bucket, it's called Hindu. And if you bathe in the shower, it's called Western. What is it? We really don't even know. Is it true or not? So if you want to know what is a way of life, then please come tomorrow morning. Sukhi way of life is what we are going to talk about. Not a style, but a lifestyle. I can talk a little more, but I don't want to. I want you to come there at least tomorrow morning. Ketla વાગે છે? 7 વાગે. એટલે what time will you come? System, what is a good system? Acha, what's a good system? The teacher comes before or the student comes before? Come on, let's get back to, doing whatever we've understood today. What would be a good system? The students come before. Can we do that? Yes? And my Gujarati is extremely simple. If you understand Hindi, you will definitely understand Gujarati. And I promise I'll mix a little Hindi and a little English as well. Okay? For what is it called? Common consumption. And not only that, khichdi is always tasty. Is it true or not? So I'll give you a khichdi of bhasha. Okay, fine. So nowadays everyone talks like that anyways. Even no one talks pure English or anything. So anyway, this lecture will be predominantly English and the other will be predominantly Gujarati. As I said, predominantly. Okay. The rest will also be there. So all of you are invited to come to Paramdham, which is right opposite ISRO, next to Bhavnijar, on Jodhpur Tekra at 7 o'clock in the morning with your friends and relations. And I want young people to come. There are 2 other sessions which you were told about, and I think that parenting session is extremely important. Very, very important. 10 o'clock to 11. And I want people, to become an engineer, you spend so much of time, money, energy. Is it true or not? You send your children to the other end of the world sometimes, and he becomes an engineer, right? And to become a parent, you do what? What? Nothing. And you do your parenting by trial and error, hit and miss. And very often you miss. Is it true or not? Kya hota hai? So, very, very important topic. I don't know how many of you have heard the parenting session before. I think it is very, very, very important. Even if a person doesn't believe in God, don't worry, just get them there. Okay? What age? 18 to 60. Grandparents banned. Your job is over. You did whatever you had to do. Khatam ho gaya. So, why I say banned? Because then you will send your, what? Sons or daughters or daughter-in-law and son-in-laws. And you stay back at home and take care of the grandchildren. Have you got the point? That's why. No other reason. You stay back home and allow them a chance to understand this very, very important topic. And it's become a problem for everyone. Do you agree with me? Yes, son. And therefore, please, do come 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. It's not going to be more than that, so you can go back and... We kept it 10 because રવિવારે ઉઠાય નહીં. તો સારું, કાંઈ વાંધો નહીં. તમે 8 વાગે ઉઠજો, 9 વાગે ખાજો અને 10 વાગે આવજો. So you can be there. અને પછી પાછું જઈને ઘરે જઈને ક્યાં તો ઊંઘી જજો, ક્યાં તો જમવા જજો, જે કરવું એ કરજો. On the evening, just for youngsters, we have the special. Because it's a Sunday, we had to pack it up on one day. And 4 to 5 o'clock, I'm going to have a time on right thinking. Now, this is another thing. Most of us have never learned how to think. We all think morning to night, birth to death. But no one has taught us how to think. And we get into trouble by our very thinking and wrong thinking. Is it true or not? So what is right thinking? How can you do thinking? Thinking is right now happening. We are not doing thinking. Is it true or not? So we'll have to learn how to what? Do thinking. So please come over for that session as well. And then again in the evening, what time? 6:30 to 8. And the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seats reserved only for young people. Okay? No, wow, this is not fair, Swamiji. This is not right. No, it's right because I think they need all this much, much more. Do you agree with me? My success mantras. Can every one of you please get 10 more people? कोई जवाब नहीं देते ले लाएंगे कि नहीं ट्राई करेंगे how should you get them by hook or by allowed crook also allowed emotional what do you call it blackmail allowed તમે આવશો નહીં તો હું ખાઈશ નહીં don't we use all those things techniques for other things use it for this cause all for a good cause allowed okay if you come I will come for a movie with you oh you understand all allowed all is fair in okay fine for satsang as well for something higher and greater and nobler you need to do this okay om purnamada purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ